Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right in today because we're talking about something I think we've all wrestled with at some point. What exactly happens when the traditional scripts we're handed for school, career, and success just don't work for us anymore? Whether you're a student, a teacher, or honestly just someone trying to navigate life's heavy expectations, this is going to really challenge how you look at achievement.
So let's dive into it. We're pulling from three totally different but completely fascinating sources today. We've got a really touching school assembly script, an innovative pedagogy presentation on storytelling, and a deep dive journalistic piece on the so-called failed students of India's intense coaching hub in Kota. By putting these together, we're going to see how breaking away from rigid structures is sometimes exactly what you need to find real joy. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. Rewriting value. 2. The power of storytelling. 3. Success beyond grades. And 4. Redefining true success. Let's get going.
All right, Section 1. Honoring our unseen heroes and rewriting the script on value.
There's this genuinely beautiful line from our source script that translates to honoring the people who make a school a home. It intentionally takes the spotlight off the principal and the teachers and shines it right onto the support staff. It completely grounds this entire conversation in empathy.
When you actually reframe a day like May 1st to celebrate the bus drivers, the security guards, the cleaning staff, you're doing something huge. You're teaching kids real humility. You shatter that traditional top-down hierarchy and show them that absolutely every single job deserves immense respect.
Moving on to Section 2, the power of storytelling and rewriting how we learn.
So once we actually value everyone in the room, we kind of have to rewrite how we teach them, right? Storytelling isn't just some trick to keep kids quiet. It is an incredibly powerful vessel for learning. It grabs your attention, breaks through traditional limitations, and totally supercharges a kid's imagination. Our pedagogy source points out 5 big reasons why storytelling is an absolute must for foundational learning. Sure, it builds language and communication, but more than that, it drives socio-emotional development. It's sneaking in lessons on empathy and morals right alongside the core academic stuff. Which leads us to a really fascinating concept, incidental learning. Basically, this is what happens when kids absorb complex ideas completely by accident. When they're super invested in a good narrative, they're learning without ever feeling like they're being taught. I mean, let's be real. Think about Tom and Jerry for a second. A simple story about a cat chasing a mouse effortlessly teaches English prepositions. When Jerry hides under the chair or sneaks behind Tom, kids are naturally picking up on spatial grammar rules purely through the fun of the cartoon. Another amazing example is the Jadui Patara, which literally translates to magic box. It's this play-based kit designed by NCERT for early childhood, and it makes foundational learning super hands-on. It mixes multisensory toys with stories that connect kids directly back to their local cultural roots. But hey, stories aren't just for toddlers. Personal narratives carry massive emotional weight. Our source shares this incredible true story of a woman from a traditional Punjabi family who, with her mom's total support, pushed back against an early marriage to chase her education. She eventually completed her MCA and part of an MSc. Stories like that, they prove the script can always be rewritten. And the wild part is, storytelling is evolving right alongside technology. Educators are bringing in story podcasts, multimedia content, and even using generative AI to co-author narratives. The medium changes, sure, but the power of the story is as strong as ever. Okay, Part 3, Success Beyond Grades and Rewriting the Script on Success. Let's take this flexible mindset and apply it to life after high school. If you look at the incredibly intense, high-pressure reality of India's IIT coaching hubs in Kota and contrast that grind with what the so-called failed students actually ended up doing, it's mind-blowing. Walking away from a system that destroys your mental health isn't failure. It's remarkable resilience. Take Ritesh Agrawal. He bailed on Kota's brutal coding regime when he was just 18. He figured out it wasn't for him, so he used his time to write an encyclopedia on engineering colleges instead. Fast forward, and he founded the massive hotel network Oyo Rooms, a multi-million-dollar venture. Or you have Ravindra Sahu, who completely walked away from formal engineering to start a news portal. He's a perfect reminder that a branded, name-drop education is absolutely not a requirement for happiness. When you choose what actually brings you joy, you naturally stretch your limits and succeed. Then there's Tarun Garg. At only 16, he realized those exhausting 6-hour daily drills were just draining him. So what did he do?
He took his own frustrating experience trying to find student housing in Coda and launched a rental platform called roomcarts.in. He literally turned his own pain point into a thriving business.
And you literally cannot forget Pavan Gore. This guy survived a crippling bout of rheumatic fever while in Coda, lying in bed watching TV. He realized his real passion was astrophysics, so he threw out the rigid IIT script, took special exams, and went off to study astrophysics at a university in California. Absolutely incredible.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 4, Redefining True Success and Shaping a New Narrative.
So, bringing all these threads together, what's the common denominator here? Whether you're honoring the unseen support staff at a school assembly, embracing incidental learning with a box of toys, or starting a business after failing a massive exam, the through line is always resilience. It's having the guts to change the narrative.
Because honestly, the second we stop clinging to those rigid expectations and traditional scripts, our potential for learning and growth becomes completely boundless. The whole world opens up the moment you stop doing things just because that's how they've always been done.
I love this profound thought from our pedagogy source. Poetry is the rhythm of the heart, storytelling is its voice. Real education and true success aren't just about memorizing formulas to get a piece of paper. They're about rhythm, voice, and heart. We really have to learn how to feel and think beyond the words we're handed.
So, to wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a real question to chew on. Are you actively authoring your own path to joy, or are you just reading the lines someone else wrote for you? Remember, it is never too late to rewrite your script. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and keep learning.